So this is the next segment, which is called Decoding the Messes. And this involves unpacking something that we consider mess, whether it's online or offline. So in The Divine, we talked about modern day examples of matriarchy, but I know you, Genesia, and you've got some little things to tell us about India. And well, what India, places in India sort of used to be before colonization. So yeah, what happened?
Well, oh my God, what happened?
Where do we start?
Where do we even start? I think it became really apparent to me because I went and worked in India for a couple of months, and I actually chose to go, that's where the work was based, but it was Kerala. And Kerala actually is seen as probably one of the most matriarchal states in India, more just because women are more equal there.
Yeah.
And I would still say not in any society at the moment, sadly, mainly Western, but women aren't seen as equal completely, but they're more so than in other states in India. And it was really beautiful because we were working with women who their husbands were fishermen, and they were then learning English so they could teach or do different jobs and just sustain the family as well. And they weren't put down for it; they weren't shunned for it. But in the whole entirety of India, pre-colonization and the partition, women weren't necessarily equal, I don't think, but they were seen as I suppose royalty. They were worshipped.
Royalty,
darling. A lot of women were worshipped, and
as they should.
And they were seen as beautiful, and they were seen as godlike, and often you'd find women in temples that would be being worshipped, and I don't necessarily think it was all women, and I don't necessarily mean that meant that they were any better off, but it just means that they were seen in a beautiful way, and they were loved by society, by the communities. And then when Britain came and steamrolled in, they basically just were like, you're prostitutes, you're all disgusting, these women are shameful, and this is embarrassing. And so then that kind of catapulted the view of women from maybe not having the rights that they should have, but still being seen as beautiful, to just kind of, we own you, your property, you're not worthy of of rights and things like this. And so that's why Kerala really interested me, because they're women have the right if they want to divorce their husbands and things like this. So it's that thing of being mixed, I'm half Indian and half English, knowing that half of me colonized the other. Do you know what I mean? And that's quite I don't know, it's quite tough, and being there as a woman and as a light-skinned woman, because I'm mixed, I then look more Western, I'm treated in a very, very different way to fully Indian women that are either visiting or live there. And then again, it's that status thing. So it's not necessarily about I'm still a woman, but you're light skinned, and you're Western, so you must be rich. You're more beautiful because you have light skin. I'm just mixed with white. Do you know what I mean? And so there's still that divide, even in that status thing of the darker your skin colour, the
more savage the abuse.
The more fucking savage the abuse. Exactly. It's disgusting. But then just because I'm from England and I'm mixed white, I'm treated better. But even still, if I lived there, I'm still a woman. So
I'm still thrown off by what you said. Half of me colonized the other half of me, and even that statement, that is that's literally so hard for the mixed race person's experience. You have to show I don't know, kindness to yourself whilst you're learning, because it's fucking intense.
Absolutely.
What you said just shook me, and I'm do you know what I mean? I'm dark skinned, I've experienced racism, let alone thinking about how it would be to be in that country, knowing what I know, having the experiences of what I've had, and then going to find myself in India. You know? How was that for you?
I found it really beautiful. I've been 3 times. The first time I went, I was 11, so I don't really remember it much, but we just did all the big spots and went to see family and stuff, went to Delhi, Mumbai. And then the second time I went, I spent my whole time in Kerala, which was beautiful, and it's stunning there. And then the third time is when I just travelled, and I went with my friend, and we kind of went all around the west side of India, down to the south and then to the north. And it was really interesting seeing how, yes, it's one country, but how like different it is.
Yeah.
But then we went to Punjab, so my family's Punjabi.
Yeah.
And my friend drove me and we met somebody in India and she drove us 9 hours from Delhi to Punjab just because she was like, you can't come here and not go to your country, like your county, your state, like you have to go.
Yeah.
And I literally, like just thinking about it, I literally stepped out of the car and I was surrounded by like turbans and women that looked like me and my family, and it was
I love that,
breathtaking.
And
it was
that
chaos, but it was beautiful. And like having gone to, like, my friend who I went with was white. And we did everything together. We spent every day. I think there was one day where we spent like 4 hours apart. We spent every time together. And I will say to this day, we had a very different experience.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's home. Like for me, there's a part of me rooted there. And something that I really struggle with, because I know that there's a problem in India with how they treat women. Like I know that there's a massive problem with misogyny and the patriarchy, and I really struggle with how women are treated there. But then also sometimes the way people speak about it that don't know India just go, oh, you wouldn't want to go there as a woman though. Yeah. And it's like you're writing off such an incredible diverse, beautiful, loving country.
You're right.
Where you go, whether as a Westerner, as a traveller, or even as a brown person, as an Indian person, you go and you're met with so much love, and you need something, they don't speak English, they'll find someone that does. You need to get somewhere, someone will help you. Yeah. And some people will try and rip you off in the meantime, but like they look after you, and it's so but like
also like I know what you mean, as in they may rip you off, but it's like rip me off. Do you know what I mean? Rip me off.
I couldn't,
do you know what I mean?
So, like 200 rupees is £2. Like,
do you know what I mean? No,
100%. 100%. And I think that's the thing. I really struggle with hearing how bad India is, because I'm a little bit protective of it, because I go,
you would be,
that's my home, but then also I know that it's awful, but it's when people go, oh, I wouldn't let my daughter go to India on her own, and I'm like, but at the end of the day, like, I'd be scared if I didn't live in England sending my kids. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Potentially to a part in England, a place in England. Like, of course. I'd be terrified to go to America. Do you know what I mean? Like, exactly. India's only different because it's culturally different. Yeah. But I think that's the thing for me, is I loved it, and I absolutely, I had the best time. But especially when I was working there for 2 months, I was working with women. Yeah.
What were you doing?
So we went to different places. So there was one place where we worked with underage girls who got pregnant. Okay. And so that was already like set up, but like we worked and helped them and spent time with them. And we worked with women who'd set up before, so the fishermen's wives. Yeah. And they, like, basically they put money in each month, and then if anybody ever needs to borrow money, they just take it out of the communal pot. But then because everyone keeps putting in, again, gets divided at the end of the year, and then like everyone gets their money. And do you know what I mean? And it's that thing of it all goes in to support everybody if anyone needs it. And so we were just there basically just teaching them English, and just having conversation. It was more just having conversations with them.
Just being support. Yeah, just being supportive.
Exactly, because they knew English, but it's that thing of you learn it in a book, and it's a lot different to just having conversations.
Oh, completely.
And so it wasn't that we were going in being like, we're going to fix you and then we're going to leave. It was just, you've already got this gorgeous community. Yeah. Let us support you and just chat to you in English about, let's talk about women's problems. So that was a lot of the things we do. We go in and talk about women's problems. Yeah. There was a place that was, it was like a 2-week intense school for Indian people to learn English. Okay. So you can't speak anything other than English while you're there. Oh, man. And the idea is you come out of it and then you can work abroad and you've got this English.
That's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's so good. So it's like this massive establishment, and we went in once a week and we would talk about women's issues, where there's 90% men, and we talk about things like abuse and this is a trigger warning, but like things like rape and safety of women and things like that in society and in their communities and on trains and out and about and things like time curfews. And we were like, how do you feel about this? And so we were getting them speaking in English, but also getting them to think and challenge. And some weeks we'd have men that were so channeled into this thought that women need to be locked up by 8 p.m. It's their fault if this. And then other times we'd meet these people and they'd be like, well, I think that women shouldn't be going out. And it's like, but what about the men? And then you'd see them change their mind.
Working,
and so it was really beautiful watching people being able to have these conversations that they wouldn't necessarily be able to have. So we're basically just there to talk to people, which is my ideal. Like, it's so good.
I love that.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
That just sounds amazing. Like, I literally was, like, whilst you were talking, I was just eager to sort of know what the response was and how, I guess, effective. Because, yeah, there are so many narratives that are... narratives that are against women, but because they've been internalized, they're reinforced by society.
Absolutely.
So, like, if you've got, I'm just thinking about you and your mate in a group of 30 people. So, like, right, we're going to talk about women.
Honestly,
yes,
honestly.
like, it was brilliant. I've got actually a few questions for you.
Of course.
So, in Decoding the Messes, I know that we wanted to talk about body positivity.
Yeah.
I know it's a big subject to you, as you are. Everybody follow Genesia on Instagram. Like, if not now, by the end of this podcast, because honestly, her Insta is fire. Outfits on fleek.
Thank you.
Face on fleek.
Thank you.
Hair on fleek. Everything.
Yeah, my little bald bean.
I love
flashing
it.
about.
So yeah, what does body positivity mean to you?
Okay.
That's a big question.
Big question, but a beautiful one. I think it changes daily. Sometimes body positivity is just being able to get up and look in the mirror. Sometimes it's being able to sit and feel comfortable touching and feeling and understanding your body.
Yeah.
Other days it's going, I am the perfect human. I've been made to be exactly who I am, and I am exactly, in my own physical form, exactly who I am. You know?
Sauce.
Yes.
Love it.
And so I think...
We got all the sauce.
All the sauce. I don't think anybody should be... boxing body positivity, because to each person it's going to fit into a different thing. Body positivity was started by fat women. And I
fat,
think
queer black women.
Yeah, literally. And so I do see that it's being whitewashed and commodified and shrunk. And so that's why, to me...
Sorry, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
had a flashback to, like, ASOS when it says plus size, and you're like, that is definitely not plus size.
That's a size 12 woman stood there.
That's a size 12 woman, innit?
Yeah, and, like, I have always been, like... I've not been above average, I've been average, but I've always felt like the bigger person out of my friends and things, and actually I'm an average size. I'm now potentially a little bit bigger, but I'm about an average size. And so I think it's that, to me... Body positivity is knowing that your body is there as a function. It's there to hug your friends. It's there to smile. It's there to love. And actually what really matters, like the person really, what matters is your heart, it's your love, it's your care, it's your personality. It's what you give out to the world. If I didn't have this body, I wouldn't be able to express to you how I feel, how you make me feel, like how much I love you, how much, like, I wouldn't be able to sit and spend time with you. And so I was
looking in your eyes like, wow, I love you.
We don't take kiss now.
I'm just looking at you like, I feel like we're getting engaged or something. Sorry, go on.
Will you marry me? But I think that's the thing of body positivity can be anything you want, but as long as you boil it down to, at the end of the day, your body, regardless of ability, race, gender, sexuality, like, it's there to love and it's there to to be a human. And so regardless of what it looks like, whether you see someone walking down the street and you go, I would never wear that outfit, but that doesn't matter, because they've got people in their life that they love. And so regardless if you show up in mismatching shoes or your makeup's a bit wonky, or, it doesn't matter.
It's theirs.
Because it's their own truth. Like, it's their own physical form that they are able to embody just to be around other people and to love and to spread that. Like, so I don't give a shit what somebody else looks like. If they're gonna inspire me or challenge me or push me today, or make me feel like loved or empowered, or like, then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter, full stop, what somebody looks like. And so for me, I think lockdown's been really tricky for everybody, because we haven't really been able to go out and about, so that means not as much exercise. That means obviously eating when you want to eat, and so.
But not even, like, let's say, okay, I've got a job, right? And my job was 9 to 5. Now I'm putting on my work clothes at 8 and I'm going to job at 9. But if I was working at home, am I putting myself still in that clothes? Am I setting my mind for my work day? Or am I rolling out of bed and just doing my work? It sort of, outfits and physical expression sort of help with the routine of life.
Absolutely agree.
And people don't... It's mad how
you don't
mindful.
notice it.
Yeah, it's a mindful
gone.
activity that actually is so good for our mental health.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I said before, like the one thing I was making sure I do in my routine was showering every day. Even though I was alone, like I could stink if I wanted to, but I that was a part of my routine that I needed. And I think people have gained weight and lost weight during lockdown.
Yeah.
And I think people are coming out of it and they're having conversations like, oh, now I need to lose this weight.
Yeah.
Again, trigger warning, talking about weight loss. But like now I need to lose this, or now I need to fit into this particular outfit, or now I'm going back to work, I've got to fit into this. And it's like, actually, we've just gone through we're still in a global pandemic.
Yeah.
The fact that your body is a little bit different is obviously, for each individual person, is going to be mentally challenging in different ways.
Exactly. It's theirs.
But exactly. But I would say the sad thing about the fact that we worry about that is because we don't have enough body positivity in the world.
Yeah.
And because we're forced into these boxes and society forces us to look a certain way. And actually, I think I've been having really beautiful conversations with people being like, but you've come out of it, you're alive, and now you're able to see your friends again. Yeah. Do they care that you put on X amount of weight or lost X amount of weight, or you're not wearing this particular outfit because you can't fit into it? No, they care because they are seeing you in physical form, and they've only seen you on Zoom, and now they get to see you in the flesh, and they get to hug you and love you.
I think that's why I'm looking at you so intensely.
Yeah, you so well.
Now, like, if you see me, like, well, no, it's a bit of a story. Essentially, like, I lost a considerable amount of weight in one of the later years. One of my like later years in my teenage years. But I saw the difference in how people would treat me, and it was fucking mad. Like when I was in year 12, when I was size 12 and constantly being like friend zoned or constantly being like disregarded and disrespected by even people physically moving me to the side, compared to now when I'm size 8, and because I'm slimmer now, I'm not just a dark-skinned black woman, but now I'm the idealized, I'm the more palatable dark-skinned black woman. Seeing the how people interact with you now, it was mad. Absolutely. It was mad. Like, I wasn't fat, but it's because I had an insight to a slightly bigger experience, and now because I'm quite slim, I'm like, now you guys are all mad. Different. You guys are all mad.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And how it's projected onto you is so unfair, because it's like I just be living my, Jeremy, like you, like I'd be living my size 12 life, but because you're all having a problem with it now, there becomes an issue that like now I've got to concentrate on what it's like to have a different body shape. Like, and
think about what you're even saying. Size 12 isn't like that. That's not an issue at all. Just because
I think I was a size 12 when I was like 10 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't matter. And I'm not being funny, but like I'm 16 years old. Why the fuck are you concerned about my dress size? Why are you concerned about my dress size?
Thank you. Yeah.
It's creepy and it's weird.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And I was having this conversation with a friend, and she was saying, she's like bigger than me, fat girl. Yeah. And she was saying, like, I think if I was slimmer, if I'd lost weight, I think more, I'd meet more people, I think I'd sleep with more people, I think I'd date more people, chat. And I was like, hold on, that's all well and good, that potentially you will, and people will treat you differently. Yeah. But do you want those people in your life?
Exactly.
Do you want that?
Exactly.
No, like if someone's going to look at me when I'm a size 10 but not look at me sat here right now, I'm the same fucking person.
Tell them.
Like, that's not my problem, you know? Like, why should you then go, I need to be slimmer in order to be noticed by fucking men? Do you know what I mean? Like, no, or like to have a relationship. And that's a whole different question, being worthy of relationships and all of that, and relationships in general, because I believe we should be whole as ourselves, but that's a whole different conversation.
You know
a different podcast, babe. I'll come back.
Please do.
But like, it's just that thing of people might accept you more when you're in a smaller body size, but then that just means that they shouldn't be in your life.
Exactly. I literally was listening to Kelechi's podcast the other day, and she always says this statement. It's like, whoever's for you will never leave you.
I love that.
And it's so true. Because if I'm getting attention from these wayward people when I'm more palatable, more fitting to their ideal, then that means that they're only taking a facet of me. But I'm a multifaceted girl. I'm a multifaceted person. Like, you need to see me in my entirety to have the opportunity to even
Yeah,
I don't even know.
No,
like,
100%.
I don't even know where to land because, like, I'm just so. It's a whole ethos of the podcast. It's like, I'm multifaceted. I want to be seen in my entirety. I have so much sauce.
Yeah.
And it's a privilege for you to even get to know me on a friendship level, romantic level, sensual level, platonic, I don't know. Whatever level you're at, it's a privilege to get to know me. So you will accept me in my entirety or you'll leave.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, you don't need to know me.
Yeah, and that's the thing with women, is that women are placed in this box of you need to look a certain way and that will fit completely your entirety. And actually is when we need to be going, no, my body is the last thing you need to be worrying about. You need to be worrying about my mind, about my personality, about the passion I have, about the impact I'm going to make in this world. Exactly. Yeah. My body is the last thing you need to be worrying about. And because women are so boxed into you have to look a certain way, that then means that as soon as you are slimmer, you're then more accepted by people. Bullshit.
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 Tell them. No. We're not having it. We're not having it. And you're so right.
Period.